أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم أرسله بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا من يطع الله ورسوله فقد رشد واهتدى ومن يعص الله ورسوله فقد ضل وغوى اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يوم يأتي بعض آيات ربك لا ينفع نفسا إيمانها لم تكن آمنت من قبل أو كسبت في إيمانها خيرا. My dear brothers and sisters, our life in this world is afflicted with several trials, fitan and tribulations. And some of these fitan, some of these trials are very severe. But there is a biggest of all fitan, the greatest of all fitan. That is the fitna of Masjid Dajjal, the fitna of and trial of antichrist. This is the greatest fitna. We have been ordered by our beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ to seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in every prayer in the last tashahhud from this fitna. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min adhab al-qabr wa a'udhu bika min adhab jahannam wa a'udhu bika min fitnatil masih ad-dajjal. We have been ordered to seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in each prayer, in every tashahhud, last tashahhud. So it tells us that what a great fitna it is, that we have been ordered to seek refuge. And this fitna of Dajjal is among the 10 major signs of the Day of Judgment, among the 10 major signs. And this fitna is among the 3 major fitan, 3 major signs, that when each of these, any one of these fitan will take place, لا ينفع نفسا إيمانها لم تكن آمنت من قبل أو كسبت في إيمانها خيرا. Nabi Islam says, Salasun idha kharajna la yanfa'u nafsan imanuha lam takun amanat min qabl aw kasabat fi imaniha khayra. When 3 trials and fitan will take place, nobody's iman will benefit him if he had not acquired before this one. So this is one of these 3. And the fitna of Dajjal is the first biggest fitna, that when it will appear, it will change the whole system of this world. It will indicate a change, a complete change in the whole condition and affair of this world. As Shaykh Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani rahimahullah and some other scholars, after analyzing all ahadith, they clearly wrote that the fitna of Dajjal is the first fitna that will create a complete change in the earthly matters. And the trial of rising sun at the west is the first fitna, first trial that will create a complete change in the heavenly world. This will create in the earthly world, and the rising of the sun at the west will be the first fitna and trial, a major sign that will create a change in the heavenly world. So this is very important for us to know about this fitna, because Nabi Islam says that ما بين خلق آدم إلى يوم إلى قيام الساعة أمر أكبر من الدجال. Then since the creation of Adam alayhi salam till the day of judgment, there is no fitna greater than the fitna of Dajjal. It is the greatest fitna ever created, ever afflicted with. ما بين خلق آدم إلى قيام الساعة أمر أكبر من الدجال. And Abu Umama al-Bahili radiallahu anh, his hadith is quoted by several ai*imma. He says that once Nabi alayhi salam, he addressed people and he said, Ya ayyuhan nas, innaha lam takun fitna, that, O people, there is no fitna. منذ زرع الله ذرية آدم إلى قيام الساعة أعظم من الدجال. There is no fitna, no trial since the creation of mankind, since the creation of Adam alayhi salam and his children till the day of judgment, greater and dangerous than the fitna of Dajjal. وإن الله لم يبعث نبيا إلا حذر أمته الدجال. Allah sent no prophet, no messenger, but he warned his people, he warned his nation against this fitna of Dajjal. Every prophet. And then he clarified in another hadith that inna Nuh alayhi salam, he warned his nation against this fitna. Every prophet, this is the one fitna that all prophets, they warned their nation against this fitna. And this is, Nasrullah says that وَأَنَا آخِرُ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ وَأَنْتُمْ آخِرُ الْأُمَّةِ وَهُوَ خَارِجٌ فِيكُمْ لَا مَحَالَةَ. I am the last prophet and you are the last nation now. It did not appear before, but now definitely and surely it will appear among you. وَهُوَ خَارِجٌ فِيكُمْ لَا مَحَالَةَ فَإِنْ يَخْرُجْ وَأَنَا بَيْنَ أَظْهُرِكُمْ فَأَنَا حَدِيدُكُمْ. That if it appears while I am still alive, I will fight against him instead of you. I myself will control him. Now, it is mercy of Rasulullah Muhammad. He says that I myself will fight. You don't need to be feared and scared of this fitna. And why he's comforting the Sahaba, why he's giving them relief and giving them solace? Because he discussed this fitna so much that the Sahaba, they got scared. Now the hadith of Nawas bin Sam'an radiallahu anhu, he says that حَتَّى ظَنَنَّا أَنَّهُ فِي حَائِدِ النَّخْلِ. We were so scared of Dajjal because in Islam he discussed this fitna so much that we imagine that he is in the garden. He may attack any time. And once Aisha radiallahu anha, she wept because of this fitna. Islam asked her, why are you weeping? She said that I remembered the fitna of Dajjal and I got scared and started weeping. So that if it appears and I am still alive, I will control myself. You don't need to be feared about that fitna. But if it appears after my death, then you must control. You must take care of this fitna. You must save your iman. Wallahu khalifati ala kulli muslim. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of my ummah on my behalf. Allah will be my successor for my ummah. So this is the fitna, that every prophet warned his nation against this fitna. And this is the fitna that Nabi Islam, he had advised us to teach people, to know about this fitna. Every one of us must know about this fitna, because the Dajjal will appear when people will forget the Dajjal, when there will be no discussion about the Dajjal. Islam says, لا يخرج الدجال حتى يذهل الناس عن ذكري وحتى تترك الأئمة ذكرها على المنابر. That the Dajjal will not appear until people will forget him. They will be neglectful of the Dajjal. And there will be no discussion about the Dajjal on the minbar. Ulama, they will not be discussing him anymore. So at that time when people will forget this fitna, it will appear. So we need to learn. We need to teach our children. And this is such important matter that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed this Dajjal to our beloved Prophet twice in his life. Islam himself saw Dajjal once in the dream, and second when he went to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at the night of Mi'raj. So once in dream, and second time when he was the night of Mi'raj. So that he could be able to describe his fitna to his ummah. And it is Nabi Sallallahu mercy upon us that he described all the features of Dajjal, his face, his complexion, his head, his hair, and everything concerning Dajjal very, very clearly, accurately. So accurately that if we see Dajjal, we will recognize him at once. Every Muslim, he will recognize Dajjal at once when he sees him. So it was very accurately described in a hadith. So we need to learn these hadiths. We need to know about the hadith. Muslim says that when Dajjal will come, a Muslim will go to him and he will tell him that if I believe in me, because he will claim that he is God. First he will claim that he is prophet. I am Messiah. And then he will claim that I am your God, your Lord. So he will order him to believe in him. He will refuse. So he will kill him. He will be Muslim. He will kill him. And then he will tell people that if I resurrect him and give him the life again, would you believe that I am your Lord? People say, why not? So he will give him the life again. It will fitna. And afterward, that Muslim will say, now I'm 100% sure you are the same kafir. You are not a God. I am sure because these are the signs. He knew these signs that he will do so and so and so. So he will confirm that he was false Messiah. So very important for us to know about the Dajjal. He can come any time. ما بعث الله نبيا إلا حذر أمته الدجال. Every prophet warned his ummah against this fitna. So what are the features of Dajjal? What is the characteristics of Dajjal that are mentioned in the hadith? Nabi Islam, he clearly stated about his appearance that the hadith of Abdullah bin Umar R.A. he said that Nabi Islam once qama khatiba. Kama bayna an-nas khatiba. What Islam, he stood among people and addressed people and said, Inni la unzirukumu. O people, I am warning you against Dajjal. I warn you against Dajjal. 3 times he said, Inni la unzirukumu. Then again he said, and Allah said, no prophet, but that prophet warned his ummah against Dajjal. And then he said that, and I am telling you, inni sa'aqulu lakum qawla. I am going to tell you a thing that no prophet told his nation before me. I am going to tell you a special thing regarding Dajjal that no prophet told his ummah. And what is that? Innahu a'war. Wa inna rabbakum laysa bi'a'war. He is blind of one eye. He is blind of one eye, and your Lord is not one-eyed. He is blind of. So this is a characteristic feature of Dajjal, that he will be blind in one eye. His both eyes will be defective. Both eyes, right or left. One eye will be completely blind. Aynun tafi'a bil hams wa aynun tafi'a bil ya. Both eyes will be defective. One eye will be unable to see something, and the second eye will be like a floating grape, bulging grape. He will not be able to see clearly, but both eyes will be defective. One will be blind, and the second will be defective, and it will be like a floating, for a shaking grape, not fixed in head. So this is the feature of his eyes, that he is called Masih. Why is he called Masih? Islam says that innahu mamsuhul ayn. He is called Masih because he is mamsuhul ayn. He is blind in one eye. This word, when it is used only Masih, so here means Isa alayhi salam. When this word is joined with the Dajjal, then means the one eye Dajjal, a kafir, Dajjal al-Kazib, Dajjal al-Akbar. So he is called Masih because he will be blind in one eye. Some say because he will travel a lot, very far, so that is the reason he is called Masih. So he is Mamsuhul Ayn. The second characteristic mentioned about that, second sign about Dajjal, that Maktubun bayna aynayhi eyes on his forehead. And it says that يَقْرَأُهُ كُلُّ مُؤْمِنٍ كَاتِبٍ أَوْ غَيْرِ كَاتِبٍ. Every Muslim, every believer, not non-believer, every believer will be able to read this word, whether he is literate or illiterate, whether he can read or not. Allah will allow him to read this one, to understand that it is written kafara, kafara, this is disbeliever. And whatever the power he will be given, he will be unable to erase this word from his forehead. He will not be able to remove these letters. Every Muslim will be able to read clearly. Kafara, kafara, maktubun bayna aynayhi, kafara. It will be written on between two eyes on his forehead. So these are the features. And another, he will have a curly hair, twisted hair, short hair. His height will also be short, not long. And he will have a curly hair. And there are some hadith some say that his head will be bald from the back. There will be no hair on the back side. And his head will be like the heads of snake. And his head will be like as the head is fixed directly upon the shoulder without neck. He will be very fat. Very fat. We will be unable to see his neck, because when a person is very fat, his neck we can't see. So his head will be like as directly fixed upon the shoulders. And his color will be reddish white color. So people, they will clearly recognize him that he is kafir. And he will be fat, and there are some other features mentioned in some ahadith. But we need to learn about Dajjal. And all these features, they clearly state that Dajjal is a human being. He is min al-bashar. He is human being. He is insan. He is bashar. He is among the mankind. He is not jinn. He is not any other creation. And as some people, they believe that Dajjal means a system, any government, any country. No, he will be a human being. And he is hiding, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has hidden him in some unknown island. Only Allah knows. And it is a sign, one of the greatest signs of the Day of Judgment. And when we discuss his powers, so some people, they say, how it can happen? My dear brother, we need to keep in our mind that Dajjal is the major sign of the Day of Judgment. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him several powers. And these powers are only to test us, test our iman, and to test Dajjal also, and to test people. So these powers are given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Dajjal, also we need to know that Dajjal is not any system. As some say, Dajjal means a TV, because TV has only one eye, only one screen. No, these are tahrif, false interpretation of deen. This is clearly mentioned. He is human being, he is among mankind, and he will come and he will appear, and he is hiding somewhere. And his time is also clearly mentioned, which time he will appear. In the hadith of Tamim Dari radiyallahu anhu. Tamim Dari, he was a Christian. He was traveling in the oceans, and he reached in an unknown island, and there he met Dajjal, the long hadith. So at that time, Tamim Dari was Christian, but he had listened something about Dajjal from Muslim and Islam. So he met Dajjal. The hadith is reported by Imam Muslim, the hadith is sahih. And afterward he embraced Islam. He came to Islam, he said that I want to embrace Islam because whatever you mention about Dajjal, I myself have seen everything. So there are signs of Dajjal. When he will appear, when Tamim Dari he met with Dajjal, he asked some question. He asked him about the Al-Nakhl al-Maysan, a garden that produced a palm tree or dates. So he asked, is it still bearing fruit? So Tamim Dari radiallahu, he said, yeah, still bearing fruit. But now scholar has mentioned that for several years it has stopped bearing any fruit. Now that Nakhal is not producing fruit. The second question he asked about Buhaira Tabariya. Buhaira Tabariya, it is a sea in the northeast Israel and near Jordan. He asked that, is there still water? Tamim Dari replied, yes, there is still water. He said, Asa an yajifa ma'uha. A time will come then when there will be no water in Buhaira Tabariya. Still we have the water, but the water is getting dry and dried. A time will come when the water of Buhaira Tabariya will dry, and it will be the time when it will be, the jam will be released. And then he asked about Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that has Muhammad appeared and has he claimed that he is prophet? Tamim Dari said yes. And he said, what are the response of people? So did they believe in him, or did some people they fight with him? He said some people they fight with him. He said, it is not better for people to fight against Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is better for people to believe in Muhammad. This is وَهُوَ صَدُوقٌ صَدَقَ وَهُوَ كَذُوبٌ. He himself is a liar, but he said this truth, that it is better for people to believe in Muhammad and not to fight with him. So these are the times when, and also as I mentioned, when people will be neglectful of Dajjal, when there will be no discussion, when people will do not know about Dajjal, at that time Dajjal will come. And it will be a great fitna. And inshallah next khutbah we will discuss what are the powers of Dajjal. How we say it will be a great fitna. So inshallah we will discuss. May Allah save us from all this. ان الحمد للہ والصلاة والسلام علی رسول اللہ وبعد. آج کے خطبہ کا خلاصہ یہ ہے کہ اللہ کم الحاکمین نے انسانوں کا امتحان لینے کے لیے بہت سے آزمائشیں رکھی ہیں. احسب الناس ان یترکوا ان یقولوا آمنا وهم لا یفتنون. کیا لوگ سمجھتے ہیں کہ صرف ایمان کے دعوے سے ان کو چھوڑ دیا جائے گا اور ان کی آزمائش نہیں کی جائے گی؟ وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ فَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَلَيَعْلَمَنَّ الْكَاذِبِينَ. ہم نے پہلوں کو بہت سی آزمائشوں میں ڈال کے ہم نے دیکھا، ان کا جائزہ لیا کہ وہ سچے مسلمان ہیں یا صرف جھوٹے ایمان کے دعوے دار ہیں. تو قیامت کے قریب جو لوگ ہوں گے ان کا امتحان لینے کے لیے بہت بڑا فتنہ آ رہا ہے. جو جب سے انسانیت کی تخلیق ہوئی ہے اور قیامت تک اس سے بڑا کوئی اور فتنہ اللہ نے پیدا نہیں کیا. سب سے بڑا فتنہ وہ دجال کا فتنہ ہے. ہر نبی نے اپنی امت کو اس فتنے سے ڈرایا ہے، ہر نبی نے اپنی امت کو اس فتنے سے آگاہ کیا ہے. اور ہمارے نبی علیہ السلام نے، اللہ تعالیٰ کی کروڑ رحمت اور درود اور سلام نازل ہوں، اس امت پر ان کی شفقت اور محبت دیکھیے کہ کتنی تفصیل کے ساتھ ایک ایک بات دجال کے بارے میں بتا دی تاکہ ہم اس سے بچ سکیں، تاکہ ہم اس کو دیکھتے ہی پہچان سکیں. اور فرمایا یہ بات یاد رکھو، انہو اعور وان ربکم لیس باعور. وہ کانا ہوگا، تمہارا رب کانا نہیں ہے، اور کوئی تم میں سے اپنے رب کو اس زندگی میں دنیا میں نہیں دیکھ سکتا، کیونکہ وہ دعویٰ کرے گا کہ میں نبی ہوں، میں مسیح ہوں، میں تمہارا خدا ہوں. اور فرمایا یہ بات یاد رکھو، وَإِنَّ رَبَّكُمْ لَيْسَ بِأَعْوَرَ. تمہارا رب کانا نہیں ہے، لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٌ وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. وہ ہر ڈیفیکٹ سے، ہر عیب سے پاک ہے، مبرہ ہے، سبحان ہے. تو یہ اللہ ایسی خامیوں سے جو یہ دعویٰ کرے تم اس کے منہ میں تھوک دو. فرمایا اگر وہ جب تم اس کو ملو تو اس کے منہ میں تھوک دو کہ وہ جھوٹا ہے. اور یہ اتنی تفصیل سے بتا دیا گیا تاکہ ہم اپنے آپ کو اس سے آگاہ کر سکیں. آج ضرورت ہے کہ ہم دجال کے بارے ان احادیث کو پڑھیں. خطبہ میں اتنی تفصیل نہیں ہوتی کہ ہم سارے اس کے مسائل ڈسکس کر سکیں، لیکن صرف یہ ایک وارننگ لیسن ہے ہمارے لیے کہ وہ کسی وقت بھی اور آئے گا بھی اس وقت جب حتی یذہل الناس عن ذکری، جب لوگ اس کے ذکر کو چھوڑ دیں گے، ممبروں پہ اس کے بارے میں گفتگو نہیں ہوگی، علماء اس کو ڈسکس نہیں کریں گے، اور لوگ اس سے غافل ہوں گے. اچانک آئے گا تو بہت اور اس کا نتیجہ کیا ہوگا کہ بہت سے مسلمان بھی اس کے پیچھے لگ جائیں گے. تو یہ بہت بڑا فتنہ اور آزمائش ہے. اس کے فیچر میں کیا ہے کہ وہ کانا ہے اور اس کی جو دائیں آنکھ ہے اس سے وہ نہیں دیکھ سکتا, بائیں آنکھ سے دیکھ سکتا ہے, لیکن اس کی دونوں آنکھیں عیبدار ہیں. عینان معیبتان, دونوں آنکھیں اس کی وہ عیبدار ہیں, اور ایک آنکھ اس کی کیسی ہے کانہا عنبۃ طافیہ, جیسے ابلا ہوا انگور ہوتا ہے, ایک اس کا ڈیلا باہر نکلا ہوا ہے. اور مکتوب بین عینی کافرا, اور آپ نے اس کو تلفظ کیا کافارا, اس کی آنکھ دونوں آنکھوں کے درمیان لکھا ہوگا کافارا, کہ یہ کافر ہے, اللہ کا باغی اور نافرمان ہے. کوئی پڑھا لکھا ہے یا نہیں, یہ ایمان کی دولت کی بنا پہ اللہ توفیق عطا فرمائے گا کہ ہر پڑھا لکھا اور ان پڑھ یہ لفظ پڑھ سکے گا اور سمجھ سکے گا کہ یہ کافر ہے اور اللہ کا باغی ہے. اس کے باوجود بھی جو لوگ اس کے دھوکے میں آ جائیں گے وہ سب سے بڑے بد نصیب ہوں گے. اس کا سرخ رنگ ہے, وائٹ سفید سرخ رنگ اس کا, مضبوط اس کا جسم اور بہت موٹا جسیم الجثہ ہے, بہت بھاری بھرکم اور چھوٹے قد کا, اور اس کے گھنگریالے بال ہیں, سرخ اس کا وائٹ سرخ اس کا رنگ ہے, اور سر اس کا پیچھے کی طرف سے وہ اس کے بال نہیں ہے, گنجا ہے سر اس کا, اور فرمایا اس کے سر ایسے جیسے کہ سانپوں کا سر ہوتے ہیں. تو یہ اس کے فیچر ہیں, اور اس کو اللہ نے بڑی بڑی طاقتیں. تو ہمارے یہاں جو لوگ یہ سمجھتے ہیں کہ دجال ایک سسٹم کا نام ہے, بہت آپ پڑھتے رہتے ہیں جیسے نام نہاد اسکالر, سوس کالڈ اسکالر, جو اس بات میں ماہر ہے کہ ہر آیت کی تحریف سے یحرفون الکلم عن مواضعہ, یہ یہودیوں کا فعل ہوتا تھا کہ ہر اللہ کی بات میں تحریف کر دینا. تو یہ تحریف ہے کہ یہ کہنا کہ دجال سے مراد کوئی ملک ہے, دجال سے مراد کوئی سسٹم ہے, کوئی اکانومی ہے, ورلڈ بینک ہے, فلاں سسٹم ہے, کیپٹلزم ہے, یہ ٹی وی ہے, یہ میڈیا ہے. نہیں, دجال ایک شخص کا نام ہے, اور اس کے پورے مسائل بیان کیے گئے, اس کی حیت, اس کی تفصیل, اس کی جسمانی تفصیل بیان کر دی گئی ہے. وہ کسی ملک کا نام نہیں, ایک فرد کا نام ہے, اس کو اللہ نے چھپایا ہوا ہے. اور تمیم داری رضی اللہ عنہ اپنی آنکھوں سے اس کو دیکھا, اس کو مل کے آئے, اور پھر اس کی وہ ساری باتیں احادیث میں بیان کر دی گئی ہیں. اللہ تعالیٰ ہمیں اس فتنہ سے محفوظ فرمائے. اللهم وفقنا لما تحب وترضى. اللهم نجنا من الفتن ما ظهر منها وما بطن. اللهم اقض حاجاتنا وحاجات المسلمين, واشفنا واشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم انا نسألك الصحة والعفة والعفاف والغنى. اللهم انصر الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم دمر أعداء الدين. اللهم اكفنا بحلالك عن حرامك, وأغننا بفضلك عمن سواك. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد.